global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello fam, welcome back to our channel. Many thanks for keeping faith with us. Thank you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our channel. And if you have not already subscribed to our channel, what are you waiting for? Please do so by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, way back those days in the university days, I could still remember that whenever there's an injustice to one person, everyone hits the streets, everyone hits the road, everyone hits the university campus, shouting "Aluta, Continua, Victoria, Sata, free injustice to one is injustice to all." Well, back those days, it looked like it's beginning to come up again. As during the time of Sowore, some persons, when Sowore was shouting, everybody come out for revolution, looked as if it was a Sowore thing. Some persons came out, some persons were scared of the guns and all that. But now it's almost like a norm now, where the governors and the executive leaders, politicians of the day, anytime they get any form of criticism, they put you on lockdown, they lock you up. Freedom is no longer something you enjoy. At the beginning of this free Ambrose problem, where Ambrose, for some of us who do not know the story, Ambrose is one of the media persons of PDP, and before that time he made that statement, Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State, had warned that nobody should call him Supreme Court governor anymore. That is an insult to Imo State, is an insult to Imolites for him to be called a Supreme Court governor. Well, Ambrose decided to do as he said. After all, it was actually Supreme Court that imposed him on Imolite. He went ahead and still called him a Supreme Court governor, of which Hope Uzodinma detained him. This is the 6th day already for Ambrose. Ambrose, who has been in detention. That's Ambrose Nwagwogwo has been in detention. PDP has come. PDP have written. PDP has done national press insisting that anything that happens to Ambrose, Hope Uzodinma be held responsible. That he should free Ambrose now. Well, this is the 6th day. As the Imolite youth have decided not to be coward. They dropped one or two statements. They said, we the Imo youth can never be cowed into believing that we don't have a right to freedom of speech, according to them. Imo State, under the leadership of Senator Hope Uzodinma, has placed democracy under siege and under threat, according to them as well. He said Ambrose's continuous detention is an infringement of his fundamental human rights. Department of Security Services, DSS, Imo, is biased. They have done nothing but aid the state government to oppress every dissenting voice, especially from the opposition party. We demand the immediate release of Comrade Ambrose Nwagwogwo. Victory for Ambrose. They now did hashtag for Ambrose, hashtag free Ambrose Nwagwogwo. If you check our video, you'll be seeing the pictures of some of them coming boldly to say, look, Hope Uzodinma, free our son. He has done nothing wrong. But let's quickly just take a feelers of what generally Nigerians are saying over this. Some persons believe, why shouldn't Ambrose be arrested? They gave a strict instruction. Do not call him a Supreme Court governor. That is not his name. He has warned. Don't call me Supreme Court governor. I'm the governor of Imo State. I have been either elected or not, but at least Supreme Court has confirmed me as the present governor of the state. And you still went ahead and still call me Supreme Court governor. You say that you lack respect, or you don't just generally like obeying the rules and regulation. Other person said, for what? Supreme Court governor, is he your name? I have every right to call any name that I like. It's my freedom of choice. After all, Supreme Court brought you in. But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians generally, because, all through this, we had one or two series before now, but this is the 6th day. Ambrose is still in detention. Yes, he's still in detention. PDP are trying to take it to court, but I said now, 6th day, still under detention. Now, we're going to feel the pulse of Nigerians generally. So I say, free speech is not an opportunity to insult, abuse and tarnish the character of His Excellency for your selfish purpose. You see what I'm saying? And this one here is also saying, let this Supreme Court governor release this man immediately. If this Tanko Mohammed governor, Jesus, if this Tanko Mohammed governor thinks this man has offended him in any way, let him challenge him in the court of law, not using DSS to harass him. This is unacceptable to the well-meaning people of Imo State. This one here, they didn't just call him a Supreme Court governor, he actually called him Tanko Mohammed governor. You see, this name will stick. This name will stick. This one is now shouting hashtag free Ambrose Nwagwogwo now. Another person here saying His Excellency should go to court. After all, was that not where he got his victory? That's the beauty of democracy. That's another person talking. This one here said, don't worry, that Abba Kyari governor, don't worry, that Abba Kyari governor will be living with COVID-19. A wolf never hide under his skin for too long. You see, one person called him Supreme Court governor, another person Tanko Mohammed governor. This one now is Abba Kyari's governor. The names are increasing. This one here said Uzodinma is now Uzodinma, another name again. Abuja dictator, another one. Abuja dictator governor. We have freedom of speech in Nigeria. Abuja dictator governor 1, Uzodinma 2, Tanko Mohammed governor 3, Abba Kyari governor 4, Supreme Court governor 5, one person. I said it in the initial post that we had. Let Governor Hope Uzodinma let this matter die. Let it go. That does not affect your governance. It doesn't affect the excellent services if you have the intention of giving to Imolite. It doesn't affect it. If you do well, the same Imolite will rally around you and support you. Forget the name Callin. It doesn't affect your work. Now other names are springing up. You can imagine the names are now giving him. If he's holding what's his name now, Ambrose, for calling him Supreme Court governor, other people are giving other names too, like the likes of Uzodinma, the likes of Tanko Mohammed governor, the likes, so many names, and it's not nice for him. Please, governors, sir, your excellency, concentrate. Forget the name Callin, but let's just feel one or two more, and then we'll look at it very critically. If there's even really hope for Ambrose to be released, or is it going to be detention as always? It looks like every time the governors don't like opposition voices, if you oppose them, they just send DSS to you and you're put you in detention till God knows when, until God helps you. If you have people who will even agitate and scream and make it public and make it social, so you put it on social media so people will know that you're actually in detention. If not, you actually languish in DSS or in DSS detention. If not for the fact that one or two persons had brought this, a lot of person didn't even know that the young man is in DSS detention. He said, bros, he's making the man more popular. He will contest against him one day. Have you seen? That's the same thing that happened to Sowore. Sowore was trying to make a protest, and the next thing they started keeping him the whole world. If you just Google Sowore, then he was #1 trending, simply because just allow. That's the beauty of democracy. The beauty of democracy is it allows for the voices of opposition to be heard. Yes, so allow it to be. If you have been superimposed by the government, by the Supreme Court to from #4 to #1, prove to Imolite that you are deserving by giving them excellent services. Honestly, the name will just die a natural death. But if you want to start imposing your force, your whatever strength, power you have as the executive governor of Imo State, I'm afraid more persons may call that name, and Google may recognize that name as Hope Uzodinma's name. But that's generally me. Though. Let's quickly, feel the one or two more persons, then we'll round it up generally. So here is saying, you're wasting your time. Let him face his music. Everybody's saying, see, since our opposing voices saying, why should he call him? But then that's another thing. I could still remember in the time of Jonathan, Jonathan. Yes, they practically insulted Jonathan. Yes, Lai Mohammed and the rest, they called him names. But right now, you dare not call Laima, the Minister of Communication, any name. If you call him any name, you may go to jail. They don't take lightly and kindly to insult. They may call it slander, they call it all manner of names. But in the days of Jonathan, it is called freedom of speech. In Nigeria, freedom of speech is very guaranteed, but freedom after speech is not guaranteed. So it's up to you. If you want to freely speak, in Nigeria, or speak what you don't know or what you know and just want to be comfortable in speaking, you are free to talk. But afterwards, you may not be free anymore. Whatever happens to you is up to you. Look at what Ambrose is going through just for calling him Supreme Court governor. Others have started calling other names. This is say, please free the young man, Joe. People are saying free him now to other persons. Now the last one I would take, then we'll round it up totally. So I say, I told them, boycott elections. They said Nnamdi Kanu is mad. Don't mind him. Hold your PVC. Your PVC is your passport to success. Yet they have given a person from number 4 position to become your governor, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That young man just quoted what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said during his last broadcast, I think on the 4th of June. Yeah, 4th or 3rd of June, he said this in his last broadcast, in his social media's last broadcast. He mentioned it. But that's how we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What do you make of Ambrose? Do you honestly think this is another Sowore brewing from Imo State? Or do you think Hope Uzodinma, Governor Hope Uzodinma, will show mercy and allow Ambrose to come out of detention? But that's how we're going to wrap it up. Let me meet in our comment section. Let's interact. Stay tuned.